The Man Without Fear has finally made its way to the MCU after an incredible 3 seasons on Netflix. But since this is a comic book related topic, you just know that there'll be haters one way or another. Many fans didn't like Daredevil in She-Hulk, especially the viral Walk of Shame scene. In this video, we'll be looking at how Charlie Cox defended his character and what his message to angry fans was. First up, what did Cox say? The Daredevil actor is known to be a very nice and kind person, but like the Thanos snap, that personality faded away after finding out about the negative comments on his character. He was asked for his thoughts on people being upset about scenes like the Walk of Shame. His response, if She-Hulk's not your thing, then don't watch it. Watch something else. He then talked about how Attorney at Law was a show he was on, and not one that he starred in. There's a big difference, because Charlie was trying his best to adapt Daredevil to a show with a lighthearted tone, as compared to the gritty Netflix series. He also wanted to stay true to the character and balance out the dark and light. But fans were still angry at how the showrunners butchered their favorite devil of Hell's Kitchen and turned him into a joke. Not to mention how it feels like the hero feels like he's been rebooted. Well, they'd be surprised, because Daredevil is actually getting soft rebooted. We'll talk about that in a bit. The thing we want to clear out first is that in Cox's defense, you can't expect 90% of the season to be humorous and witty and flip the switch in the last 10% to suit the serious and dark theme of Daredevil. The actor had a blast with his return, so why don't we dive into what he had to say about his time back, following up with Cox's thoughts on the new character. Okay, new isn't the right word to use. Charlie can embrace a totally different tone and keep Matt Murdock in all his glory, so it's pretty much the same character. The 40-year-old actor talked about Daredevil in this world, and said that he's in Los Angeles with his hair down a little bit. His character's just having fun and killing it in the courtroom. Cox added the new romantic interest for Murdock, where he has a fling with a really beautiful and charismatic lawyer. The two got to work together and do superhero stuff, which is what this genre of media is all about. Charlie defended the tone of the character by mentioning that Matt is often used as a source of humor in the comics, and that he's a witty guy. If you disagree with that, then you've clearly never read a comic. If there's one person who's done his research, it's the guy who portrayed the character for years on Netflix. She-Hulk was just a glimpse of what's to come with the Devil of Hell's Kitchen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Unfortunately, fans will have to say goodbye to the predecessor series, because things will be very different. Before we talk about the death of the Netflix character, we just gotta discuss the scene that ticked a lot of fans off. Now for the Walk of Shame. If you haven't seen the show yet, or if you forgot the season already, Jen and Matt spend a night together, and we see him walk back home in broad daylight, still in costume. In all honesty, this is something you'd never see in the original Daredevil series, because, for starters, we can't really remember the last time we saw the hero walk freely in daylight. Sorry with siding for the angry fans for just a second, but we understand why they feel like this is a complete disservice to the character, because it's very odd for him to do something like that. Then again, we also have to consider the stuff the actor said about his personality in She-Hulk. Different show, different character, right? But apart from the shift in tones, fans are also angry about another important thing with Daredevil's presence on the show. Should we say angry or confused? The question is, weren't Matt and Karen Page a thing at the end of season 3? Oh my god, is Matt Murdock cheating on her? No, don't worry. That isn't the case for our lawyer. Did you look at that? Wordplay. You might have seen that, but Matt sure didn't. Yikes. Tough crowd. Bad jokes aside, it's time we tell you what's going on with Daredevil now that he's getting his own show in the MCU. Let's talk about Murdock in the MCU. After canceling every Netflix project of Marvel, like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the rest of Defendersverse, fans were very happy to hear they'll be seeing their favorite hero on the small screen again. Things started going downhill when it was revealed that the upcoming show titled Daredevil Born Again won't be R-rated like its predecessor. How can you make a Daredevil series without the themes and elements that made the series so good? Kevin Feige and Charlie Cox have both talked about the upcoming show many times, and it's confirmed that it'll serve as a soft reboot of the character. This means that although the same actor will star in the series, there'll be a lot of changes starting with the tone. For now, Cox will be joined by Vincent D'Onofrio, who will reprise his role as Wilson Fisk, also known as Kingpin. But we've already gotten a taste of Fisk in the Hawkeye series that everyone has definitely seen. Seriously, how many more shows will Marvel be making? It's starting to get really hard to keep up. Some of us still haven't finished Loki. Daredevil being wittier than before may sound uninteresting at first, but the actor also has a few words to defend this wild decision. Coming up, what does the actor have to say about the show? Angry fans need to take a chill pill, because even the guy portraying their their favorite hero is happy with what's yet to come. Cox's opinion of this character is that it works best when he's geared towards a slightly more mature audience, and since that's already been done, he wants to see how much they can broaden things with the show. He wants to know if they can appeal to a slightly younger audience without losing what they've learned about what works. Unfortunately, he guarantees that the upcoming series won't be as gory as it was before. A lot of people will be sad to hear this, but you have to remember that this isn't an R-rated project. Plus, we know that Disney's first adult movie is going to be Deadpool 3, where Hugh Jackman is reprising his role as the one and only Wolverine. How exciting! Charlie wishes to stay true to Matt Murdock, because in all fairness, we can't see anyone who'd nail the performance with that awesome costume of his. Speaking of suits, did you notice that the one in She-Hulk is completely different from what we're used to? Following up with what's already changed with the character. When Cox made a cameo as Peter Parker's lawyer in Spider-Man No Way Home, not only did the theater go crazy, it was also so good to see the actor back and suited up in the MCU. As for his secret identity, nothing was changed, besides his receding hairline. But hey, we don't judge. In Attorney at Law, the new suit was a blend of red and yellow. And before you start claiming that Disney is changing too much, pick up a comic book. Daredevil's yellow suit very much exists in the source material and looks gorgeous in live action. Luke Jacobson replaces Melvin Potter in the Daredevil lore as the Vigilante's costume designer. Melvin served a minor yet heartfelt role in the Netflix series, but he was scrapped from the story, and we got Jacobson instead, a hilarious fashion icon. Kingpin remains pretty much the same. All that's different is this red Hawaiian shirt he wears under his white coat. Oh, and he's got a fancy hat on, which is an alright fit for the character. We're allowed to complain too. Fisk looks a little bit less threatening with that thing on. With Daredevil Born Again on its way, fans are excited to see who's returning, and dreading an announcement about who isn't returning. Now for the cast and characters of Born Again. Even though Matt referenced his friends in She-Hulk, that walk of shame scene hinted at the fact that either he broke up with Karen or she never existed in the first place. Save those tears for later, because nothing is confirmed yet. But the title of the show itself is taken straight from the comics, and Paige plays a very important role in the plot. In it, the man without fear faces Kingpin, who manipulates Matt's feelings for a struggling Karen in his attempts to destroy the hero. Rumors say that Born Again will explore Murdock as a lawyer, more than him as a vigilante. This means we get more courtroom scenes. The actor thinks that it won't be a different client to defend every week per episode, and says that the story is more than that. Other cast members joining Cox and D'Onofrio include Michael Gandolfini from The Many Saints of Newark, Margarita Levieva from In From the Cold, and Sandrine Holt from Black Robe. Their roles remain unknown for now. Some sources say that Kristen Ritter will make an appearance as Jessica Jones, so there's something to look forward to. Lastly, what are some details about the upcoming show? Born Again will serve as a soft reboot of the character with 18 episodes in its first season, making it the longest Disney Plus show Marvel has given us. Shooting begins in February and will go on for 11 months, meaning we can expect a premiere date in the middle of 2024. That's fine, because we're pretty sure Marvel will give us like 30 other films and shows to watch till then. There's no word of who will be the antagonist or anything like that, so fans have to wait a little longer for casting announcements. But who do you think will play the other characters in Hell's Kitchen? Foggy Nelson, Stick, Elektra, and more are yet to make their appearances in the MCU, so we want to know who your fan casts are. Let us know in the comments below. Leave a like and hit that subscribe button to see more of our content, and we'll see you in the next one.